fam, we are here again today for another Walk It Like I Talk It. And we are doing I believe we're on chapter 6 called Unspoken for the Just As I Am Cicely Tyson book. But for me to be totally honest with you, I have already acquired my 10,000 steps. Okay. But I'm gonna keep walking because going over a little bit doesn't hurt. So let's get started, shall we? All right, so I'm gonna do a little slow bop just because if I walk too fast, I'm gonna get out of breath. And I may fall off this bitch as y'all just almost seen me do. So in the beginning of this book, Cicely states how parents lie to pretend to be who they are in these fairy tales that they've created in their mind. And that's exactly what Cicely mother does throughout apparently this whole fucking book. At least the first 6 chapters. Her mother is just being this uppity two shoes, I'm better than everyone else. My kids are raised this certain way. They don't do any of these worldly things. But it is all a lie. It is all a lie. Cicely got her period at 9. Now, Cicely also wasn't told anything about her body. So she didn't know what her period was. She didn't know that period, hey, period was going to be back next month. She did not know that because her mother did not fucking tell her. Mothers, be a mother.
Be a father. Be a father.
You got to tell them about their fucking body. Give them a mirror. Have them look. Look at it. So, 2 holes. There's 2 holes down there. Look at your body so you know what you're experiencing when you experience what you're experiencing. So instead of talking to her about what was going on and what she was experiencing, she just told her to, girl, go wipe yourself off. Throw this pad on. Did she even tell her or show her how to put the pads on? I mean, they didn't have always back then. Apparently there was some device that you had to fucking put on. All her mother told her was to stay away from boys. Now Cicely is like growing into her body. She has, boobs and shit. She saw her dad coming down the street one day and she just running to go meet her dad. And her dad is like, so she didn't understand what all the commotion and the humdrum was about, but apparently her father went into the house and was like, Frederica, get the girl a fucking bra. Like, do I have to talk with her? Which was taboo. Men didn't talk to their kid. I don't think men talk to their daughters now about sex or periods or douche or to not douche or smells and healthy discharge. I don't think they do it. It is known that they don't talk about booze, periods, or sex, or boys in the house. You have to tell your daughters more than stay away from boys, because that's going to make them go and date boys. The mother didn't really trust anyone around her daughters. The only people that she would really trust was her ex-husband's cousins, and of course, family. And of course, the minister. Sinisters. That's what I'm gonna call them. Sinisters. Cicely mother trusted her husband's cousins until her daughters both told her, hey, you think this man is cool and he's safe to be around, but he touched us. He did the old walking graze. So, he walks on past, he walks and then he passes by, and as he walks past, he let his hand graze the back of your ass. Niggas still do that in the club, which is why I don't go to the club. So with hearing this news, Frederica didn't trust any men around her daughter, so she didn't date because she didn't want to take the risk of some pedo assaulting her daughters. So instead of talking to her about men, she just decided not to ever date. Now, Emily didn't wait for any explanations from her mama. She found out everything she needed to find out. She was at the park lying about being with the boys. Now, her mom wanted them to marry men whose father was ministers. Schubert Swanston was one of the men who she felt highly of within the church. She said one of her mom's mantras was, thou shalt go out only with men who is the son of a sinister. Until Cicely met her first crush Horace, but he was not of church. She couldn't date him. And although she would be, sneaking out as girls do to go be with him and sit with him in the park and have him walk her home, her snitch ass brother, Melrose, told their mother that she was out with this boy. And so her mother was like, I don't ever want you to be out with this boy ever again. This was the first guy that ever saw her beauty. Like, she was saying how he would trace her face with his thumb. It's like, your face is shaped like a heart. This man was in love with her. But she couldn't date him because her mother wants to put on airs. Cicely's neighbor, Elizabeth, would come over and they would kick with each other. Cicely ends up introducing Horace, the love of her life, to her neighbor. And why did they end up dating and marrying? She let her love marry her neighbor, and she lived the life that she wanted to live. We finally reach a moment where we find out how Cicely got her name. Cicely would go on with her dad to these parties that his sister Zora would throw. She's the daddy's girl, so she's hanging on to him. So he screams, Cicely, to someone across the room. Cicely's like, why are you yelling? I'm like, right here. And he's like, you think you're the only one named Cicely? This is the woman that you're named after. He named his daughter after another woman, y'all. So at 17, she's still unaware of everything she needs to know as being a woman, a young woman, until a pastor's son. He's the son of a preacher man, Kenneth. Y'all should know this story is going already when I mention the name Kenneth.
Ma, you should be proud. I'd rather live alone than crawl up behind some two-timing loser like Kenneth. He's a good man, Savannah.
Y'all know Kenneth ain't never beaten the allegations right. Frederica, Cicely Mothers, is elated. This man had his own apartment, so he comes over and he introduced himself. Kenneth, since his only requirement was to be a son of a reverend, he was not Cicely's type. Horace was Cicely's type. She dated, but she dates him anyway to make her mother happy. Her mother trusts her to be with this preacher's kid. Have y'all not heard about PKs? They the worst motherfuckers to be around. So she plans to see Kenneth at his apartment. Her mother says to her, hey, I need you to be home by 7. And it was okay for them to be out alone because PK. Now, the rest, I'm going to let Cicely tell you because I don't want to misconstrue, right? All I'm going to say is, parents, talk to your kids. Cicely, go ahead and talk that shit.
This wasn't my first visit to Kenneth's place. Over the months, as he'd charmed my mother with his impeccable manners, she'd been increasingly permissive of our spending time together on our own. I think she was more smitten with Kenneth than I'd ever likely be. After we'd been together for a while, I glanced at my watch, 6:20. I have to go, I said, imagining the hell I'd catch if I returned home even 1 minute late. I pulled on my jacket and walked to the door. He followed me. Why do you have to leave so soon? He said playfully, resting his hand over mine. You should stay a little longer. I smiled, and he slid my palm off the knob. He turned me around and pulled me toward him, my back resting against the door. He slowly unbuttoned my coat. He then gently began kissing me, first on my forehead, then on my neck, and finally on my lips. As our tongues intertwined, he pulled me even closer, pressing his aroused body into mine, running his palms along my breasts, breathing heavily with desire. Our caressing grew more intense, and he lifted my dress. I recoiled slightly, but before I could back away, he was inside me. He immediately exploded. With my thighs trembling, I looked at my watch again. It was 6:40. I really do have to go now, I said, straightening my dress and rebuttoning my coat. As I grappled internally with what had just occurred, he and I said nothing, and I left. On the bus ride home, I replayed the scene in my head. Did we just have sex? Is that what that was? I honestly was not sure. Like my period and all other topics of a sensitive nature, Mom had never had a forthright conversation with me.
I don't know how Cicely's mother knew she had missed her period because Sister Girl made an appointment to go to the doctor, quick, fast, and in a hurry, as you can have imagined, because she did not explain to her the mechanics of her body and how biology and how sex works. She got pregnant by the preacher kid that she thought was just such a good boy. Y'all really do let religion cloud your judgment. Oh. Slow that down. Slow it down a little bit. So now when I say she, I mean Federica. So now she's in the hospital crying about her daughter being pregnant, but it's like, ma'am, you were complicit at this. You didn't tell your daughter anything. It's not like it was, YouTube out back then. There wasn't a chat GPT out to explain it to her. You have to explain these things to your fucking kids. So now she's crying. She's like, if only you have waited. She didn't know to wait. She didn't even know. The girl didn't even know that she was fucking. She did not know. So now her mother is like, oh my God, wait till your father find out. Your father gonna kill me, girl. Like, what? Why you do this?
Why would she say that? Like,
You don't know what you don't know. So now y'all tune in next week so y'all can see what happened with the baby. Does she have the baby? Does she not? Dun dun dun! Y'all come back next week, the same bat time, same bat channel. And holla black. All right, guess I'll pump it up for a little bit. All right.